Getting started with AI Table Components. In this video, we're going to be talking about the innovative management tool of digital data called AI Table, and we're going to be talking about its top 5 components, and I'm going to be talking about all the features of those components and how they can help you use AI Table. So let's get straight into it. Now, AI Table, as we all know, is a great tool based on the flexible multi-dimensional spreadsheet. It origins from a pure idea of a tool to make software development and design 100 times easier. Okay, so AI Table in itself has 5 components that people mainly use. Okay, so let's start off with it. So the first component that we're going to talk about is space. All right, now space is a collection of all collaborative projects. It's pretty much like a virtual office, which allows team members to have a shared workspace to manage all of their projects. All right, so if I were to show you the spaces, first of all, you have my spaces over here, right? So these are spaces that I created myself, and then there's joined spaces that I joined by someone's invite. Okay, so if you want to create my spaces, you're going to come to this section and you're going to click on create a new space. It asks you to enter your space name. So, I can enter something like test, and I'm going to click on OK, and this will create my space. Okay. And in your space, you can go ahead and create data sheets through templates or whatever you want. So those are spaces. Okay, spaces are basically different tables where you can add more detailed data sheets, components of different work ethics and categories. All right. Then obviously, as I stated, there's join spaces, which are spaces you join through someone's invite. Now, you can easily go ahead and leave this space, or you can easily go ahead and delete a space that you just created by going into the setting of overview and here in setting again, and then just clicking on delete space, and there you go. So that's how you can delete spaces as well. Then let's move on to something else. Okay, so I'm going to go into my test workspace. And once we're over here, we're going to move over to the workbench and we're going to talk about datasheet. All right. Now, AI Table is used to collect, store, and manage your business and project data. With the similarity of spreadsheet, it incorporates powerful and extensive features, rich dimensional column types, rainbow tag, attachments, table association, data linkage, operation history, and a whole lot more. So you can quickly build a data engine that meets the different needs of individuals and your enterprise. So to do that, we're going to click on create and we're going to name the data sheet. So I'm going to call this task. All right. And we're going to click on OK. Now, once we do that, look at that. It creates a data sheet just like this. And in this data sheet, you can start adding data. So I'm going to call this, let's say John. Then we can come down here, write Jim. Then we can come down here and write Harry. Okay, just like that, you're going to add data, then you're going to add options, you're going to add the attachments that they need with it. And in these databases, you can add in more field names. And with that, databases also get their different views, which is also a pretty incredible feature. So everything that you see here on the left-hand side are basically your databases or data engines that mainly run your space. So even if I go to my main space that I have my main databases in, you're going to be able to see we have tons and tons of data spaces on the left-hand side, which is pretty incredible, right? Then the third component that we're going to move on to is called view. All right. Now, view, in addition to the standard view of grid, there are many other ways to display your data. With different views, you can process and manage data more efficiently and intuitively. And you can also customize the forms of displaying data properly with 6 types of different views available in AI Data. So if you want to go ahead and check those views out, you have this view button over here. Now I'm going to be talking about every view in detail, so please keep on watching. Now, first of all, we have the grid view. Okay, so if I were to open up the grid view, you're going to see that your main database, that's going to look like this, will be constructed in a grid table form, which is much easier to, compile things in and categorize them in different lead tables. And even if we were to go on the left-hand side, you can see more easier accessible details about the users. Okay, so that's the incredible part about the grid view. Then let's move on to the gallery view. Okay, grid view, as we talked about, is a view which is suitable for directly and intuitively adding, editing, displaying a large amount of information at the same time. Basically good for bulk addition. All right, then we're going to move over to the gallery, or you could even call this the album view. Okay, now we call this the gallery or album view because this view consists of small cards with highlighting the images of records. Okay, and you can easily go ahead and scour through these cards. So let's say I want to go through Helen Jackson's card. You can click on it, edit it, and you can even give it an image to give you a better understanding of whose card this is. Gallery view gives you a very good idea of the small details about a person. Okay, the details that are required, like work email, name, etc. So that's why album view is pretty useful, pretty good for proper CRM management. Then let's move over to the board view. Okay, so the board view is your basic gallery views alternative, you could say. Okay, basically, so you could say it's a gallery view, you could say it's an alternative of the gallery view, but it depends mainly on if your users are at the maxed out number. So if your users are in a group form like this, so let's say I'm going to use full name. So this turns the gallery view into a group view. Okay, so a view is ideal for showcasing task progress in the board view, and it makes project management and task assignment much more easier. Okay, so as you can see, it's in a form of group, and you can scour through this up and down if you want to, pretty easily and pretty incredibly, right? Now let's move on to another great view, which is called a Gantt chart, and it's pretty famous in CRMs. So if we were to go ahead and open up a Gantt chart, here we go. So this is what a Gantt chart generally looks like. It's a view of horizontal timelines showing the task sequence and duration and helping manage overall projects. Okay, so as you can see, you can have different projects in one workspace, and in this one workspace you can have different users and details of users with the dates that you need them, and you can also create different projects in different instances. All right, so this is the fun part about Gantt chart. It's good for project management because you can create and assign projects in a horizontal view, which gives you a good and clear look of the longer timeline that is to come. Okay, so pretty incredible and pretty you could say robust view. Okay, then let's move on to the other view, which is the calendar view, which gives you a clear view of all schedules in a month, and it provides teams and individuals with a visual calendar planner. Now, I'm pretty sure you're liking all these components and views that you're getting in the CRM, and if you want to use this for yourself, please do make sure to check out the link in the description below to get 10% off of all pricing plans you get with AI Table. All right? So coming back to this view, calendar view basically allows you to set schedules or appointments in a month, and it's easy to assign someone a specific date or check someone's due date. And even for the people in your CRM that are working, it's easier for them to check the due dates of their projects, tasks, or works, right? Now, moving on, one final view that we're going to talk about is the architecture view. Now, the architecture view is a bit complicated. Okay, you basically need to create a two-way link field for this. So let's say I'm going to add Abby Simone over here. Okay, and then I'm going to add Christine David over here and Edward Thompson over here. Now you can create a view out of all of these. You can create records and create a proper view. Now, creating a view and record out of all these people is really simple, because all you're going to need to do is you're going to create a pipeline of different components and connect them with each other. And this is basically how a architectural view works. It's a view showing the hierarchy information. By dragging the cards, you can structure the information and build a delicate description of an enterprise organization. So that's pretty much about it when it comes to the views component. Let's go and talk about the dashboard. All right, so the main dashboard is basically your auto sales dashboard that I have over here. Now, a dashboard is a new file type that acts like a container, which allows your data to be extended with much more capabilities by using various widgets. So what it does is it basically aligns all of your work down here that you have in your databases and nodes, and it shows all of it over here in a summarized form. So if you ever want a summary of all of your work, you can simply come over to your dashboard and get all of it. So you can clearly see no code, simply drag and drop, and your data can be visualized. Pretty incredible, right? And you can actually add new widgets into your dashboard. So let's say I want a summary, pivot table, script, funnel chart, whatever I want can be added in this section. So pretty great and pretty incredible stuff. One final component that we're going to be talking about is users, roles, and permission. So for that, we're going to come over to the contact section, and in the contact section, what you do after creating a space is that you are the master administrator of that space, and you have unrestricted permission in the space. You can, add friends or team members to work together in your space and assign them as sub administrators to give certain specific permissions. So if I were to go ahead and invite a collaborator via email, let's say I have a work colleague and I'm going to be inviting them through their email, just like this. And once we do this, we're going to click on send invitation. Okay, just drag and slide this. You can also, by the way, invite them through a link. Okay, so these are different ways you can invite them, and once you've invited them, you can actually assign them as sub administrators. So when my friend joins, what I can do is I can give them a proper space admin permission, and that basically allows them to become a co-conspirator or a vice president with me in my workspace. Pretty incredible, right? So those are the top 5 components that I use and most people use when it comes to working with AI Table. Now do let me know down in the comments below on which component you plan on using more and which one of these you found more helpful and more useful for your workspace and CRM. Till then, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to watch the videos that you see on your screen right now.